Hello morning and welcome to Samson TV. I'm your host Graham Wilsonholme. We have a special treat for you on today's show. Zoe Deschanel is here and we are going to be talking to her about her hit TV show New Girl a little bit later on. But first, Zoe's going to perform as a lovely song. Yes, Never Shout Never.
Yeah, you sure broke my heart last week when you said you had slept with him. I know you called, I got them all. La da 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 da. Girl, you better love what you got before you go and give it away. But don't say that I don't know you, 'cause oh, I know all about your type. You're the type of girl that texts all day and talks all night. And oh, I know that you are feeling sad. I don't feel bad, 'cause even after 3 text messages, 4 missed calls, you still slept with my best friend. Yeah, you sure got a lot of nerve to say that this was all my fault. I know you called, I got them all. La da 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 da. Girl, you better love what you got before you go and give it away. But don't say that I don't know you, 'cause oh, I know all about your type. You're the type of girl that texts all day and talks all night. And oh, I know that you are feeling sad. I don't feel bad, 'cause even after 3 text messages, 4 missed calls, you still slept with my best friend. So I sing, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. When I say it's okay to give a little help to pay. And every single time you make your way into my sheets, the hours move to minutes, the days turn into weeks. And I know you're so cool, but I must be a fool for taking you in and letting you in control of my heart. And every single time you make your way into my sheets, the hours move to minutes, the days turn into weeks. Rain, rain, go away, come again another day. When I say it's okay to give a little help to pay. And every single time you make your way into my sheets, the hours move to minutes, the days turn into weeks. And I know you're so cool, but I must be a fool for taking you in and letting you in control of my heart. And every single time you make your way into my sheets, the hours move to minutes, the days turn into weeks. Oh, I know all about your type. You're the type of girl that texts all day and talks all night. And oh, I know that you are feeling sad. I don't feel bad, 'cause even after 3 text messages, 4 missed calls, you still slept with my best friend.
Yes indeed, what a great performance. I could have listened to them all night. Well, as you already guessed, well, our TV show is nominated for a Golden Globe and best known for her creative personality. So let's take a look at this documentary previewing her past to present accomplishments.
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel.
Zoe Deschanel.
Hi, I'm Zoe Deschanel.
Hey girl, what you doing? Hey girl, where you going? You get down and make a friend. She's gonna turn it around. She's gonna turn it around. Who's that girl? Who's that girl? It's just.
I like to encourage people to figure out what they like.
Click, click. Got you in the moment, stuck and gritty. Tough shit. There's so many of you up in the city. Come on, get on. Right moment in the right time. This is it. Is your love changing or is it yes, ma'am. Let's go for a ride. There's so many lanes that we could try. There's so many rules, no need to abide. Throw my helmet on. Hold on tight. Oh, now you're mine, oh, mine. chance. Here comes the jackpot, a question in advance. What are you doing New Year's Eve? What are you doing New Year's Eve?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my guest, Zoe Deschanel, everyone. Okay, welcome to the studio. You're not really a big sort of name over here in the UK. You know, not many people have heard of you, but I'll say congratulations for being nominated for your Golden Globe for the actual TV show. So how's that come about?
I got a call from my agent, and he said, there's a new TV show. He said, I think you'd be really perfect for it. So I went and auditioned with a couple of people, and then I got a call that week saying I got the role.
So how big is the show in the US?
The show in the US is actually really big. It's only just come about in the UK, I think. It's just about to be released in the UK, I've been told.
Right.
But I mean, I know UK fans have been watching it on the internet.
Yeah, online sort of thing.
So-
Yeah. I was going to say, basically, it's about yourself living with four fellas. Is it in an apartment? What's the background to the story? What's the story on this?
I live with 4 other guys, and we live in a loft.
A lot.
And I am a teacher. My character is Jess, and I fall in love with one of the guys, but they don't know.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Is there any romantic sort of setup in this?
Yeah, that's not till like near enough the end.
So how many seasons have been shown over in America at the moment? What season are we on in America?
We're on 2.
So it's very fresh and it's very new, isn't it? So I dare say the viewers in the UK will catch up eventually when it comes onto maybe Fox or something like that, or whatever channel we choose here. You've also, in a band, is it Him and Her? We actually saw you performing there. What you do in New Year's Eve, I don't know, is that something to do with the band, or is that an entirely different thing?
That was actually, I was married.
Was you?
And I got a divorce about this time last year. It was all settled. He was actually in a band himself.
Right.
And we got a divorce after many arguments. And
All right. So was that sort of creative differences, or you just fell out of love? Or?
yeah.
Right. So again, you've worked with quite a few famous faces in the past. Not to mention, of course, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and of course the great Jim Carrey. I mean, or Carey, if you want to pronounce it like that. Who was the most fun to work with? I mean, he's very off the wall, isn't he, Jim Carrey? I mean, everything's ever done from Cable Guy to Ace Ventura, right the way through to working with yourself.
Definitely, Jim was one of the funniest. I mean, we had a right laugh on set and everything. I did work with Kate Hudson. She was a brilliant actress to work with. I mean, I got so many tips off her and everything, being in big things like...
Did you meet her mum, Goldie Hawn? No, you didn't meet Goldie, no, because most people do, because they do go around quite a lot together, Kate Hudson and Goldie Hawn, of course. But you've also got another thing we've noticed is your quirky dress sense. I mean, apart from your singing and your acting, you've also got a very quirky dress sense. Have you got your own sort of fashion label, or is that in the pipeline, or something like that going to happen?
That could be... I mean, I've taken notice that people have actually been talking about what I wear. I mean, when I've gone to places, I mean, that's in magazines that say, look at the style and everything, yeah. So I think a clothing line would be in the future. But I don't know, I think my clothes like express who I am, so I am kind of a bit quirky.
So what would you say is your most preferred sort of line, sort of a clothes designer, a singer, an actress, or do you feel as though you can put all three or whatever together? You feel as though you can work all three together?
I feel like I can work all three. I mean, definitely actress and a singer. If I ever wanted to go into a role in acting where I had to sing, I'd be able to master that.
So, as you say, the New Girl, the actual TV show, I mean, do you prefer television, or do you prefer films, or is it not a lot to choose between the both?
I definitely prefer television. I think films are they can get quite boring and tedious a bit, whereas television, you can add personal things to yourself.
So it's like a quick turnover
Yeah.
TV in a respect. You've got, obviously, like an icon to a lot of young teenage girls. I mean, we've had all sorts of icons in the past 20 years. Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, of course, Miley Cyrus, going from Hannah Montana to her own twerking Miley Cyrus herself. Now, the thing is, do you feel as though you've got to sort of shock now? You're getting a bit older, and you think, right, I played this nice next door sort of girl, sort of clean-cut image. Do you feel as though thinking, oh, hang on a minute, people are going to get bored of me, I'm going to start taking all my clothes off and I'm going to start, you know, making a nuisance of myself? Do you feel that's something you're going to do, or do you feel as though the wholesome image is the thing you're going to carry on throughout your career?
I don't ever think I won't ever change. I mean, considering the reason why I picked doing New Girl as well is because it's the character Jess is so similar to myself.
Yeah.
So I think your work gets your image. I don't think you need to take your clothes off and do anything different to try and get more famous.
Yeah, I mean, looking at Cosmopolitan there, well, it's just come out and you've been in Elf as well. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Cosmopolitan, I mean, you've got a very similar look. You're very similar looking to Katy Perry in a respect. It's not quite the same, but you've got a very sort of, you know, the lovely black hair and everything else. Have you ever been sort of mistaken for Katy Perry or
A lot, yeah. I actually Googled my name once and it does come up with Katy Perry at the recent search.
Yeah, because you are very, very, a little bit younger than Katy, but you're very, very similar to her. I mean, looking at the captions there, we also noticed you were an elf. What was it like working with Will Ferrell? He's just received a Lifetime Achievement Award at the British Comedy Awards. What's he like to work with?
Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. He helped me the whole way through it. He guided me. He's an amazing actor. I mean, I was so thrilled when I found out I was working with him.
Yeah, I mean, will there be an Elf 2? I mean, would you jump at the chance of working as an Elf 2, or do you think Elf should be just left as Elf and that Elf should be left on the shelf?
I think Elf should be left on the shelf. I think it was a classic film and people still like it now, but I don't think there should be a second one.
If there was ever going to be a remake of a film, any film whatsoever, what role would you like to play? If there's any role, it could be anything, Gone with the Wind from 1939, you know, Vivian Lee's role, or anything, you know, is there any sort of role that you'd think, I'd love to do that?
I would definitely rock Juliet in Romeo and Juliet.
You'd like to do that? So
I would
that'd
like
be
to do Romeo and Juliet.
You mean like opposite Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
or something like that? Who was come on leaps and bounds, as you know. What about hair products? Do you do anything with hair products? Because again, your hair is very, very sort of, you know, always looked after really well.
Tresemme hairspray. My hair is naturally curly, so I mean, it doesn't take me long for. I know people like. I'd feel so sorry for people with straight hair, like.
Yeah, because you're not really
naturally
made up,
straight.
are you? Such, you're not really made up beyond just a little bit, just to bring out the nice
Yeah.
feature. I mean, you've got big blue eyes and everything, and that, as you can see there, that's a nice pulse for allure there. So you've never been to the UK before today. Are you planning on coming back at any point?
Definitely. I mean, today I've spent the whole day like looking around, and I think it's an absolutely amazing place.
Because you'll have to promote New Girl, obviously, when it hits our screens here. How do you think the viewers here in the UK will take to it? Do you think they'll take to it like they've done in America? Do you think it'll become a really massive smash?
I hope it becomes really big. I don't know whether they'll take to it as well as the Americans, because it is a very typical American programme, but hopefully I think they should understand it. They should.
Well, we're going to sort of look about a few more American comedies. We're going to discuss your career as it is at the moment a little bit later on. We'll come back to you, so if you just sit tight there for us, Zoe. OK, let's take another break here for some news. When we come back, we'll be talking to Zoe about how we can get the coveted Deschanel look. We've already touched on it, but we'll go deeper after the news.
Good morning and welcome to Time Tunnel News. I'm your
Quite
host,
difficult,
Edward
this one. I'm
Jennings.
really not a thing to
Tonight's
talk
top
about,
story,
isn't it?
Whitney Houston murder case is closed. Whitney Houston was found dead in her apartment February 11th. Today, police have closed their investigation, concluding no crime was committed. In a statement, Beverly Hills Police said its investigation found no evidence of foul play. An autopsy concluded the singer died in her hotel room on the 11th of February of accidental drowning due to the effects of cocaine use and heart disease. US astronaut Neil Armstrong has died aged 82. He died at 2:45 p.m. on Saturday, suffering complications following his recent cardiac bypass surgery. On Saturday, Armstrong's family confirmed his death and released a statement. We are heartbroken to share the news that Neil Armstrong has passed away following complications resulting from cardiovascular procedures. Neil was our loving husband, father, grandfather, brother and friend. A memorial is planned to be held in Washington. The government will be able to monitor the calls, emails, texts and website visits of everyone in the UK under new legislation set to be announced soon. Agency GCHQ will be able to demand real-time communication because of this new law. The Home Office says the move is key to tackling crime and terrorism, but civil liberty groups have criticised it. Costa Concordia claimed 32 lives when it sank just off the west coast of Italy in January, after hitting a rock. The ship's captain, Francesco Schettino, is now facing manslaughter charges after it emerged that he was sailing too close to shore to impress a woman. We'll have more on this story later in the show. And now to our foreign correspondent, Eva Shelbourne.
You're joining us here in sunny California, where the stars are certainly shining bright tonight. Everyone looks beautiful, but we are here to focus on just one of the stars, Zooey Deschanel. Award-winning actress Zooey Deschanel has been nominated for a Golden Globe Award in the category for Best Performance by an Actress in a Television Series. The series in question is New Girl, in which Zooey plays a woman living with 4 guys who quickly get fed up of her. With 3 series under her belt and counting, the show seems to be gaining popularity at an alarming rate. Fans just can't get enough of Zooey and her character Jess. Zooey already holds TV Guide's Best Actress Award for her role in the television series. She's been nominated for many other awards in recognition of her acting abilities, and we wish Zooey and all the other nominees the very best of luck. Upon hearing that she'd been voted for by the public, Zooey said, "It's a triumphant thing for a nerd." Well, Zooey, the public has spoken, and now you could be a Golden Globe winning nerd. I'm Eva Shelbourne, and back to the studio.
That's the end of our news segment. My name is Edward Jennings, and you've been watching Time Tunnel News. Goodbye.
I really can't stay.
Baby, it's cold outside.
I've got to go away.
Baby, it's cold outside.
This evening has
Been hoping
been
that you'd
so
drop in.
very nice.
I'll hold your hands, they're just like
My mother
ice.
will start to worry.
Beautiful, what's your
My
hurry?
father will be pacing the
And
floor.
listen to the fireplace
So
roar.
really I'd better scurry.
Oh, please don't
Well,
hurry.
maybe just have a drink more.
Put some records on while I pour.
Neighbours might
But baby,
Howdy, welcome back to Time Tunnel TV. My guest today is Zooey Deschanel, so we're back in the frame with you, Zooey. Right, okay, we're going to talk about your eating habits before we talk about the comedies and everything. Apparently you're a vegan. Have you been a vegan all your life, or is there any reason for being a vegan?
I am a vegan because I am allergic to most dairy products. So I'm allergic to like eggs and glucose and all that.
You don't eat meat, obviously, at all. So is there any reason behind that? Is it because you think it's cruel, or you just don't like the taste of it, or it's just something?
I think it's cruel. I mean, I am an animal lover. I do love animals, and
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself like wanting to kill them and eat them. I think like they're like my friends, basically. Like, why would I want to eat my friends? So.
If
Yeah.
it tastes nice, why not, eh? Also, there's been sort of things in the pipeline that you might be even thinking of writing an autobiography. And I always find that quite peculiar, really, that someone who's quite so young would want to start writing about a life in her early 20s. I mean, I can thoroughly understand someone who's been around the block several times and sort of aging up to 50, 60, but do you feel it's the right time to start letting people know about where you're up to in your life? Do you think an autobiography is necessary, or do you think it's just a money-making scam?
No, I think an autobiography is a good idea for me. Although I think I'm going to start it, but I'm going to carry it on, you know, for quite a period of time. So I'll start writing it, and then I'll just end it maybe in my 30s.
I mean, we do have several sort of personalities in the UK that have written about 5 biographies, and they're only about 35. I mean, I suppose you're striking while the iron's hot in a way, making hay while the sun shines, if you like. Again, looking at your band, She and Him, I mean, are you planning to write any music for any up-and-coming comedies? It actually says in my notes here that you might be thinking of writing soundtracks or lyrics towards a film or a TV programme. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah, definitely. I think it would be a good thing for my career, having my own song on, not necessarily something that I'm in, but like something else, some TV programme. I think it would be a good idea, and I'd like to do it for something British maybe.
Yeah. So New Girl is essentially a comedy, isn't it? I mean, what do you think of some of the comedies that have gone by from America? Of course, the most successful comedy of all time on both sides of the Atlantic, of course, is Friends. Did you have any time for Friends? Did you ever watch Friends as you were growing up?
I loved Friends. Yeah, kind of. I think it helps the directors a bit with some inspiration from Friends. But I wanted it to be different. So the new TV programme, I wanted it to be a bit different from Friends, because I think there has been a lot of like comedies that have tried to be like Friends, but they can obviously never get as big as it. So I wanted something more unique, I think.
I mean, Friends ran for 10 series, or 10 seasons as it's known in America. Do you feel as though New Girl has got the same sort of longevity as Friends? I mean, there was 6 characters in that, whereas you've got, well, there's 5 characters in yours, but it's a little bit more lopsided over to the male-orientated side of the comedy rather than you. I mean, did you ever feel a bit put upon, or a little bit, not humiliated is the wrong word, a little bit under pressure because there's 4 guys or 3 guys and a girl? Do you feel as though, you know, you're a bit more pressured there?
At first when I started, I thought maybe it might be like a bit orientated, like about them. But no, it's been fine. I think it's really made the show how it is, having them characters in it.
I mean, could there be a spin-off? I mean, Friends tried it with Joey and it didn't quite work, did it? I mean, could there be something called Jess, something like that, where she eventually moves out of the loft and finds love, or goes off in her own way, or whatever the case may be?
I definitely can see that happen in the future. I don't think it'll last as long as Friends, but I definitely think you could get a good 5 seasons out of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're just watching there. You're already on season 3. You've already been nominated for several actress awards. I mean, on the broader scale, would you hope that New Girl would be shown to everywhere in the world, not just here, obviously, parts of Europe, Asia, Africa, all on different continents? Do you think it's got that sort of pulling power to be big in any other continent, or do you think just the UK and US, it sort of only appeals to, because very similar sort of sense of humour? Yeah.
I hope it would get worldwide. I definitely like Australia and New Zealand. I definitely think they'd get it. Maybe not other countries, maybe like Asia and all that.
Yeah, I mean, we're very big here on soap operas. I don't know what it's like in America. Would you ever sort of cast everything aside and go in a soap opera for a bit, or was that never sort of come to light?
Have you got one here called Coronation Street?
We certainly have. Yeah, that's right here in Manchester. Yeah.
I have seen one. Is it an episode?
Yeah, it's an episode or a show. Yeah. If you like.
I've seen one episode of that. I don't think I could quite. It's a bit dramatic, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it's not quite as quirky, you know, it's a little bit miserable. And if you've ever seen EastEnders, which is based down south, that's even more miserable, so don't worry about that. So, as we stand, 2013, what's been your biggest accomplishment to date in your 15, 16 years in show business?
I've been nominated for several awards. I've been in health magazines and beauty magazines. I've been on covers. I've even had a spread in a magazine about my style and about my image. So I think things are going forward for me.
I mean, do you think that the media's manipulating young girls? I mean, is there any way you can actually sort of say to them, you know, you're not, about, especially with girls losing weight, and do you think that's a big issue?
It's an issue. I don't know whether it's as big. I think it's an issue in the US. I'm not sure if it's a big issue in the UK. You hear a lot about girls committing suicide about it, and honestly, all I can say is if you're happy, then it shouldn't matter what you look like.
So just give us one tip then for a girl. What would you say to a girl who's got a few problems with her own identity, how she looks? Because I know you ladies sort of split yourselves up in sections, don't you? I don't like that part, I don't like that part, I don't like that part. For us blokes, just don't give a monkeys, most of us anyway. But there are a lot more men, aren't there now, that are actually taking more, not pride in their appearance, but are getting a little bit more over-obsessed with the way they look. Do you think that's down to the media, the social media? I mean, you're involved with it in magazines, within music, within TV, film. Do you think it's really, really grabbed hold?
Yeah, I think it's putting a bad image for young teenagers. they're seeing big famous stars and they're aspiring to look like them when really they should just be their own person, like they should be unique, they shouldn't set out to look like a certain someone.
Just before we go, Deschanel, where does that originate from? I'm being a bit ignorant here.
They're from my grandparents.
Are they French then, by any chance?
No. You'll have to ask them.
And why do you feel as though you need an extra O in Zoe? It looks like Zoe to me, I mean.
That's
again.
my parents. I think the whole unique side of it, I mean, Zoe, spelt with one E
Right.
and a no.
Okay, I know we're talking rubbish now, but sorry about that. Anyway, thanks very much for joining us on the show today. Wish you all the success with the New Girl in the UK and continued success in the US. Thanks again. That's Zoe, everyone. Been lovely having you on the show. We'd love you to come back soon, hopefully when it hits the shores here some point soon. You've been watching Time Tunnel TV. I've been your host, Graham Wilson-Home, and to play us out, Zoe covering a track called Sleeping with Sirens. And it's all from me, and it's a very good morning. Catch you again soon.
Stay for tonight if you want to. I can show you what my dreams are made of. As I'm dreaming of your face, I've been away for a long time, such a long time, and I miss you there. I can't imagine being anywhere else. I can't imagine being anywhere else but here. How the hell did you ever pick me? Honestly, 'cause I could sing you a song, but I don't think words can express your beauty. It's singing to me. How the hell do we end up like this? You bring out the beast in me. I fell in love from the moment we kissed. Since then we've been history. They say that love is forever. Your forever is all that I need. Please stay as long as you need. Can't promise that things won't be broken, but I swear that I will never leave. Please stay forever with me. If you want to, I can show you. If you want to, I can show you. It goes to show, I hope that you know that you are what my dreams are made of. And I can't fall asleep, I lay in my bed awake at night, and I fall in love. You'll fall in love, it could mean everything, everything to me.